This is a Renew original recording. Hello and welcome to Believe in People, a two-time Radio Academy Award nominated and British Podcast Award-winning series about all things addiction, recovery and stigma. My name is Matthew Butler and I'm your host, or as I like to say, your facilitator. Today on Believe in People, I'm joined by Joe Sealey. Joe's known worldwide as a former cast member on The Real Housewives of Cheshire, a show seen by millions across the globe. But what you don't always see is the reality behind the cameras. Joe opens up about his battle with cocaine and alcohol addiction, the impact of grief and loss, and how life unravelled while everything looked successful on the outside. This is an honest conversation about recovery, resilience, and what it really takes to rebuild your life one day at a time. I begin my conversation with Joe by exploring a revelation about cocaine that might shock some listeners.
Well, straight from the off, I mean, the thing that I think about is that, and I say it quite often and I hate it, is that at the start, cocaine saved my life. By the end, it stripped me of everything I was and am. But at the start, I'd gone through quite a lot of trauma, and over a short period of time, I was a footballer, lost my football career to an injury, and then a week later, my dad died.
Jesus, literally that?
Yeah, he had a heart attack in the street. So I got injured the week before, and then the following Sunday, got a phone call at home. My dad was a retired footballer, Premier League footballer, and got a call and he was dead. And so I'd lost everything that I wanted to be, everything I'd worked towards since I was a kid, and also my dad, who did that job, who led my career. So I was lost, and I didn't talk about it. I didn't want to cry because my mum and dad had together since they were 14 years old and I had a little brother. So I used to get in the shower in the morning and crawl up in a bowl. Shower would be hitting me, I'd be crying my eyes out, and I'd come out and try and be all right because I was thinking I need to be the man now, which I shouldn't have done. And about 9 months after that, someone gave me a line of coke and actually I felt better. I was probably suicidal without knowing I was suicidal. I was deep in depression. And actually a lot of that period of my life, I don't remember. So that period of my dad, I remember my dad dying, and then up to, I do know when I took drugs for the first time, a lot of that period, I don't have a lot of recollection. I can't remember a lot of it. Like, it's completely blank.
Talk to me a little bit about the football career then.
Yeah, so I started from young like everybody else does, and my dad, a lot of people knew my dad, and he was a goalkeeper at Man United and other clubs, top clubs, won a lot of stuff. And I was a centre-back, and then when I was about 10, I said, I want to play in goal. And I was obviously I had some sort of talent, and I started getting picked up when I was about 12. And he said to me, is this something you want to do? Because my dad was always like, don't matter what you do as long as you're happy.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it properly, whatever it is, even if you're a bin man, do it properly. So he's like, is this something you want to do? Yeah, I want to do. Well, I'll help you, but it's not going to be easy. It's hard. So he trained me and worked with me, and I lived in London, Essex at the time, and I used to live in Sheffield at weekends and play for Sheffield Wednesday. I'd go down to Southampton and play there. And eventually I signed for West Ham when I was 16, when I left school, because I wanted to live at home. But like everything my dad did, he said to me, my dad at the time was at West Ham as a coach, and he said to me, you got to make your own way in life in his career. So it used to be about 8 miles by car from my house to Chadwell Heath where West Ham trained. That was a 2-hour train journey because you had to go into London and back out, and he made me get the train. He was going to the same place as me. So he'd drive past me and beep on the way home, and I'd be home 2 hours after, or I'd be leaving at 6 in the morning to get to 8, and he'd roll in at 8:30 and I would have left the house at 8 o'clock. But he said, but at the time I didn't understand it. But looking back, that taught me a lot. It taught me about life.
I suppose a good thing with that is any success that you would have had in football, no one could ever have claimed it was through like nepotism either.
And that's what he said. So he also said, because he didn't want me to go to West Ham. Now I chose to sign for West Ham because I got a lot of offers at that point. And I was in England. I was involved in the England youth system and stuff like that. But it was the only club I could live at home with, and I wanted to live at home. Plus, some clubs at the time didn't have a goalkeeper coach. Some did. And to be honest, he was a good goalkeeper coach, and I liked working with him. But he didn't want that, people thinking that. So he made it harder for me. It was hard.
Yeah. Was he harsh on you in front of the boys and everything as well? Yeah.
Worse than, probably too much.
Okay.
Like, he got sacked about 2 years in, and I'll be honest with you, I was happy.
Okay.
I felt a relief from that. I felt a relief from him not being there every day, because I felt more stress. He never went into a home life. Like it was always kept separate. Like that because I think because he was in that job, and it's a job. Like I got brought up to, like my dad telling me, people know, but this is my job. Like it's no different. I feed you by playing football. But on the outside, people think it's something else, but it's not. So at home, it was still doing what Only Fools and Horses or Minder or whatever we were watching. And I had a great childhood. I mean, I've got a loving mum and dad. I've got a brother. Nothing ever happened to me. I mean, I had a blessed childhood. I was always fed, nice house. Went to school, played football, looked after, always warm. Never had anything happen to me until that week, and then it all happened to me at once, and it changed everything.
I suppose to unpick that as well, sometimes when we look at the root causes of addiction, we often talk about ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences, and it's often people who come from broken homes or homes where there is trauma. It's interesting to hear your story of how good you had it, but then for it all to go wrong in the space of a week, that still creates a trauma, which, as you described it as, which has led obviously to substance misuse problems. Tell me about the injury then. What was it?
Shoulder. So I got it. So I was a goalkeeper. Dislocated my shoulder when I was 16 twice, and I had to have a full reconstruction, which meant I'm cut around the whole of my calf, and then I had do you see the film Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
I had to wear a bodysuit for 6 months that kept my arm. I wasn't allowed to wear my arm. So I had this up, and then I wore this bodysuit. And then when they took that off, I couldn't move my arm. So it took another 6 months of them literally, I mean, it was agony every day. They lay me on my back, the masseurs, put the knee in my hand and forced my arm open and rub out the muscles. Oh, it was terrible. So I was injured when I was 16 for a year. And I come back, but when I had the injury, they said, look, this is too much trauma to your body. If this happens again, when you have this op, there's nothing we can do. And you're going to end up paralysed if it goes. Like, you can't keep doing it. It's too much time out of football as well. And I was okay for a couple of years. And then I was in training one day, ball come through. I should have held it. It spilled out. I got up. And as I got up, dived and put my hand on top of the ball. Nothing came near. My shoulder went bang, pop.
Yeah.
And I knew I was done. Okay. I knew instantly it was over for me. And I remember being taken to the hospital, and then I went to a place called Holly House in Buckerstill, and my mum and dad walking through the double doors, and I remember breaking down crying, because it was like, that's all I ever wanted to do. And I didn't know anything else. Like, I didn't want to do anything else, and I thought my whole life was going to be that. Yeah. And then I suppose I didn't really talk about it with my dad. My dad had sorted out, after he died, I found out that a lot of the stuff that then I was doing or going to happen to me, career-wise, and from my insurance point of view, he'd sorted out with the clubs and all of that. So all that was done for me. He'd done it all, but we never spoke about it. And football was the most important thing in my life until 7 days later. And then I realised it wasn't. It was the first time ever that when he died, and I thought, football don't matter. Because it did matter to me. Like, it's all I wanted to do. I didn't drink when I played football. I wouldn't socialise with you if I got rid of all my friends at school because they smoked weed. Because I thought, this is how naive I was. I never ran anything. That if I was in your house and you smoked weed, or I was walking down the street, I'd breathe it in and I could fail a drug test. Yeah. So I fucked off everyone. There was any around me that was like that. And I think a lot of players do that, to be honest. But I was petrified of it. And I didn't drink. My dad didn't drink, really. I saw him drink twice. My mum had a drink when she was 16 and didn't drink. So I wasn't in an house full of alcohol or anything like that. I never saw any of it, anything like it.
What caused your dad's heart attack? Do you know?
No, being fit, so it was a random. Basically, one of the arteries flooded. Okay. And it could be happening to me and you every day.
That's what I'm thinking. It's quite terrible. When you said your dad was obviously, it sounds like similar to you, you know, quite career driven, sporty, doesn't drink, you know, whatever that may be. And then to still have a heart attack.
Well, it's not really a heart. So when you play professional sport for a long time, your heart's a muscle, not an organ, so it grows. So say his heart was twice the size, which is normal. Yeah. A lot of players have it. Same thing as Christian Eriksen. Mark Vivian died of it as well. His artery flooded. Now, they said even if he was a guy that weighed 50 stone that couldn't move, you wouldn't even know it was happening to you if you've got a normal heart. But where his heart was that big, and it is called something, because billions of as it flooded, his heart pumped that much blood in it, it blew up, basically. Made his heart explode. Yeah. And it killed him instantly. Yeah. And he had all his checks. He was well. There was nothing wrong with him.
It's quite terrifying, that, though. Yeah. I mean, funny enough, I'm thinking of familiar with professional wrestling, British Bulldog. Yeah. British Bulldog, huge guy.
I love that.
Had a massive heart attack. You know, and it's like you look at him, and a lot of people said, "Oh, it's from steroid use. It's from this and the other." But as you've just said, I never knew that. But if you're a professional athlete,
it grows.
Yeah, it grows.
If you look at it, a lot of people, not just in football, have these heart attacks on football pitches, rugby pitches, athletics. Yeah. And it's always due to that. Okay. It's the size of your heart.
Jeez. So that is scary that could be happening to any number of professional athletes right now, and they would have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, because it's not something that starts a year before. So it had these. You have a scan every year when you play sport. Yeah. You have an ECGs. Wouldn't show.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get myself into your position. So how old was you when you were
18? 18, yeah, 19 years old.
And I think at that point, you kind of have this idea of how life's going to work out for you, don't you? Do you know, I think in a way, sometimes it's from... I mean, I used to think this was like the way the media influences us, like we're all going to leave school and somehow become famous and rock stars. But I suppose with you, you're experiencing an actual career path by the time you're 18, 19 anyway.
And when I look back at it, I'd lived in that because of my dad.
Yeah.
So like what I struggled with, and this sounds amazing. Like if I needed a doctor when I was a kid, my doctor was the Man United doctor. He comes to my house.
Okay, yeah.
If I needed a dentist, we got taken to the dentist by the club. It was all club related, not just when I was playing, but like that my whole life because of my dad. Yeah. So I didn't even know how to go to the dentist. Yeah. Like I mean it. Seriously, I had a problem when I was about 22. I went to the club dentist and still said I was a player and got the club to pay for it. I didn't know how to live. Yeah. Because your meals are done. Here's your tracksuit. Here's your boots. Here's your trainers. Beer at 9 o'clock. Get on this coach. Eat your lunch. Train again.
So routine, isn't it?
I love a routine. I love a routine now.
I'm kind of picturing almost like coming towards the end of a 18-year-long road. Yeah. And the road finishes, and then you just stood in front of a wide field. It's Correct. Like, where do I go? What do I do?
That's exactly what it was like.
Talk to me a little bit about that then, about that transition into going from such heavy routine. Yeah. Your dad passing away, which obviously was instrumental as part of that routine, and then into nothing. Where does your life go from that point?
Well, my dad had at the time sorted out with my agent, and he owned part of this agency, which is now the world's biggest agency. They're called Stella. They're the CAA Stella. My dad started that business, so I got given a job as an agent that he'd sorted out after my injury before he died, but I never knew. So I went straight into that after he died, and I hated it. Yeah. I hated it because I hated football. I really hated football.
Was that because of your dad passing away?
I think it was a bit about my injury as well. I think more my injury. I think I was bitter.
Yeah.
I resented that other people could do it. Yeah. And I really struggled with my identity not being
a footballer. Yeah.
Nothing else was good enough.
Yeah.
I weren't good enough, you know? And that took me a long time to work that out. It's the truth. And yeah, it was like that. I was given this fantastic job with good pay and a nice car, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be around it. I didn't know I didn't know what they say. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know anything. Yeah. But I thought, you know, so it was all an act. It was all an act.
So what happened after? How long was you doing that job for?
Well, I did that there for 18 months, and I eventually set up my own business, and I did sell that when I was 32 for quite a lot of money. But
okay, what was your own business that you was doing?
A sports agent.
Okay, yeah.
So I represented a lot of players. I did Floyd Mayweather. I did the Klitschko's, but I did more marketing with them in Europe. But footballers, I did about 100 of them. But I hated it. I hated it. I tell you what, I hated it up to a point of when my son started playing football. Yeah. And him enjoying it so much made me like football again.
Okay.
He gave me the enjoyment back. But up to that point, like anyone that I'd played with, I didn't want them to do well. Yeah. I couldn't help it. If they were playing in cup finals, I used to want them to lose. It's terrible. Yeah. It was a terrible way of being. I was just full of hate and rage. Like my temper inside was horrendous. Like I couldn't.
How do you deal with that then?
I didn't.
Okay.
I took drugs. I mean, I didn't.
Okay, I'd have... Starting to paint a picture here, kind of what's going on. Yeah.
I didn't deal with it. I didn't deal with it at all. I dealt with it in the worst possible way. Okay. You know.
Talk to me about the first time you used cocaine.
Yeah, interesting. So I lived in Essex, and I didn't know anyone that did drugs in Wellington. I'd never been around drugs. And I'd gone out, so I got taken to Manchester. Actually, 500 yards from where I currently live. Okay. Right, the pub at the bottom of my road. It used to be called The Rectory, now it's called Brown's. And I come up with a guy called Michael Edward Hammond, right, who at the time was Danny Minogue's boyfriend and meant to be a TV producer. He went to prison about 8 years ago for breaking into Buckingham Palace and pretending he was a police officer. Do you remember him?
I vaguely remember the story.
He said he was CID. That was him. Right? So I go in the car from London to Manchester, and we're going out with some people in Coronation Street. And we go out to this pub at the bottom of where I now live, randomly. And I get taken back to this house in Whitefields, and they put cocaine on the table in the kitchen. So they're doing it, people are lining it up. I have a bit of that, and I do it. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, I did it, I think, because of peer pressure, because who I was with.
I was going to say, did you need convincing to do it?
No,
Or
I
was
did
it a
it
bit like
because I
trying to
think
fit
they're all
in?
doing it. I think I'm trying to fit in.
Yeah.
But it instantly made me feel better.
Okay.
It instantly changed how I felt. And
In what way?
I felt happy.
Was that to feel like the first time you'd experienced happiness in a long period of time?
Yeah. Looking back at it, yeah. It took me out of myself. It took away my feelings. And it instantly made me feel better. And I did that one line. I talked shit for 5 hours, then asked for another one, but they'd obviously all done it because that's what people do. And there was no more, and that was fine. And I got on with my life, my week, or whatever. But I'd end up going up to Manchester once a month and having a party. Very normal at that point for about 6 months. So I still didn't know anyone in London that did drugs or where to get drugs. And then I eventually met a drug dealer in Faces in Ganshill, which was one of my local nightclubs. And then, and it was all very nice and normal and going out. And
was you chasing it in between that?
No,
well?
not at that point.
No.
I mean, at that point, even when I found a guy in Essex that sold it, I remember buying, even at this point now, I bought 7 halves, right? And I kept them in a drawer. And every time I went out, I took half with me.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably the first and only time I ever done that.
Yeah.
But that lasted, 7 weeks, or if I went out twice a week, 3 weeks, whatever. And then I remember coming out of a meeting one day and ringing him and going to buy some gear in the daytime. And I thought, I did it about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought, oh, this is the best thing ever. And it was never the same again.
Yeah. I suppose as well, with the fact that you were able to put it in your drawer and keep it there, that's going to create a psychological sense of, I'm in control of this.
Well, at that point, it wasn't even that. It was more, I do this a bit when I go out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any...
So you didn't even think about it being addictive or anything like that? It was just...
I'd come home and I'd either use all that half, or the half went back in the drawer. I mean, I didn't think... My brain weren't wired then, like I suppose it ended up being. And whether the way you use it, the amount you use, I think it does make a difference. So... You know, it was new to me. It was new. My brain was new to it. It was a thing I did when I went out. It wasn't a thing I did all the time. I still probably had this thing about being a druggie, you know, sitting on the street.
Yeah.
And it's not me. And I've got a good job and all of that.
You can't recognise you as the other people because you've got...
No, I'm going out to nightclubs. I'm drinking champagne and I'm in parties and I'm with, you know what I mean?
I'm not going on a park bench sort of thing, do you know?
Important people
that
I couldn't really give a shit about. But that's what I perceived. I'm a kid. I'm 19, 20 years old. And I'm partying.
At what point did you realise that it started to, I suppose, become addictive then? Because like I say, if you're able to just take it when you're partying, at what point do you recognise it's starting to escalate?
Well, very quickly.
I was gonna say.
Until, as soon as I bought it that day and that afternoon, it never went back to that.
Okay, yeah.
I think this is a completely different reason. I don't really like nightclubs. I never did. I don't like alcohol very much. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I never drunk without drugs. So I didn't want to go out to pubs and nightclubs. I had to go to pubs and nightclubs to meet girls, take drugs. That's, looking back at it. But I still don't like them. I don't like loud music. I don't enjoy that atmosphere. I never have done. I hate it now.
See, for me, that's something that's come with age. Like, do you know what I mean? It sounds like you hated it from since
I didn't want to do
young.
it then. I did it because that's what you do, and that's especially that 20 odd years ago. People, it doesn't seem to be as many nightclubs now. That's how you met people. You didn't have social media.
Yeah,
I met my wife in a nightclub. So at that point, when I bought in the day, I started using, like what I would call using. 2-3 days at a time. And I still thought at that point, it's great fun. This is amazing. I've absolutely cracked the code of life. I'm happy. And now I ain't got to go out. So that's what I did.
Did it ever become daily use?
Yeah, I was daily user. So my 21st birthday, I went to my nan's for Chinese, and I loved my nan and granddad. And I left as quickly as I could. I bought a quarter ounce of gear and a bottle of Jack Daniels from a BP petrol station in Debden. And I sat in my apartment for 3 days, 3.5 days. And I thought, this is brilliant. This is what I want to do. And I used to play a game like how long I could stay awake. And I thought this was clever. I would try and stay awake for as long as I could doing it. And I was able to function. Because a lot of that time, when I started every day, I was a dry sniffer, really. I didn't really drink. So I would be working and I'd be sniffing. Or I'd be out and I'd be sniffing, and I'd be with people, and I'd be sniffing, and then I'd be indoors, and I'd be sniffing and not sleeping. And
I like the term dry sniffer. I've not actually heard that before,
Yeah,
but of course, yeah, because some people, it's a case of, right, I've had a drink, now I'm going to have Coke.
no, I was Coke first.
Yeah.
Coke first. I did that for years. I dry sniffed for years. And in fact, that's probably my preferred thing, because again, I never liked the effect of alcohol. I was very lucky that I don't like the taste of alcohol, I suppose. But I would drink copious amounts of alcohol by the end, litres of neat. I'd drink out of bottles neat because I would try and weigh off the effects of my cocaine use, but it ended up getting on top of me. But really, at the start, for years, I'd sniff without alcohol. I'd drink if I was out with people, like they do.
You mentioned, obviously, the love for your grandparents.
Yeah.
Did any of your family, whether that be your mum, your grandparents, did anybody even notice that you was having these problems?
I think my mum definitely noticed, whether or not she told my grandparents, but I think I was very difficult. I'd obviously gone through what I'd gone through, and it was, I don't think leave them alone, but she's also going through, she lost her husband.
That's
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually don't know the answer to that, but I can only say, of course they did, because I was a raving lunatic. So you can't not know that someone's doing it every day. My nose was bleeding, my nose was watering. You know.
I think we talk about how substance misuse and being in addiction can feel quite selfish. I mean, when you was going through what you was going through, I think your response is completely, validated after the trauma you experienced, losing your career, losing your dad. Was you even, you mentioned your mum then, obviously losing her husband. Was you even really thinking about that at the time, or the impact that your use was having on her?
Of course I won't. It's something I think about now, though, actually.
Yeah. Do you feel guilt for it now?
Yeah, I do, I think. No, it's one. Yeah, I do, I suppose. I've apologised for it, but what I think about is, if you could go back without knowing at the time, I just made that about me, didn't I? I had a younger brother, 2 years younger than me, who hasn't got any of the problems I've had, who cope well, I think, because I've never spoke to him about it.
How come?
I don't know. I spoke to him a little bit last year about one of the first times, but not. He's a bit more different to me. He's a bit more quiet, a bit more, inside and stuff. And he said something to me about, he would look in the mirror, and he played football as well. Before he played football, and say, "I'll do it for you, do it for him." And I'm sitting there and I thought, we should really talk about this, really, at some point. And I don't see him that much. He's got family. I live 300 miles away. And it's something I probably want to do, to be honest with you, and I think it's something I should do. But no, at the time I look back and I didn't see it as what I was, because in effect, I now know that everyone was really worried about me.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're going to be looking at everything that you're going through, knowing the big career change that you're experiencing. Yeah. Knowing that you've just lost your dad as well. Yeah. And some people, that's what they do, despite what they're going through, they're thinking about other people, aren't they? And I think your family was probably thinking about that with yourself. I
think my mum definitely was. My mum was very kind, very loving. In fact, probably too much, soft.
Too soft for you. Especially by comparison of what your dad was like.
Yeah, because
it was like a bit of a yin and yang.
Yeah, so he was a strict one at home.
Yeah.
Like, even if I wanted to, so I was 18 years old, I had a girlfriend. If I wanted to go to the pictures, I say, is it all right if I go to the pictures? Yeah. I work, it's my money, I've got a car, but I'd ask my dad if it was okay. It's like a respect thing at home. Of course, I get it. Like my girlfriend couldn't stamp my hat. Like that sort of stuff. Actually, I look back and quite respect it. I'm pleased that I'm like it with my kids, but so then I lost that at home, and then I was just like, I can do what I want.
Yeah. So when you met your wife, obviously you said you met her in a nightclub. Yeah. You was using substances in a nightclub. Did she have any inclination that you was?
No, she's not like me.
Oh, okay.
But I'd stopped. So in between, I'd end up letting the drug dealer live with me for free. I'd still be buying drugs off him, but he weren't paying rent. So he lived with me for free. I got rid of him because at that point...
I'd be wanting the drugs for free if he was living with you for free.
I was nicking some drugs every so often and stuff, and I'd do a bit off him. But really, he had the best of both worlds. But at that point, I was so bad that when I was sniffing by that point, my eye was bleeding and I was like running. I was in a bad way by that point. I'm about 23. And I stopped. I wound it down. I'd been awake at one point for 10 days and I passed out for about 2. I woke up, I was in the right state. Yeah. I didn't know it was 10 days. So my mum went to South Africa and she'd come back and I thought, fucking I ain't slept. So I'd wound it back and I was using it, what I perceived to be normally again, well, my normal, twice a week, and I'd started going out again. But I would only be going out to use. Like I won't go out. Nah, I'm only going out to use, not to do any, not to meet people. And I met her in a nightclub at a bar. And she's never been like me. She's one of them people that are very happy drunk if she drinks. If I drinks twice a year, and then with a meal once a week, twice a month, she might have a glass of wine and leave half of it. frustratingly normal.
Yeah.
Very opinionated.
Frustratingly normal.
Very opinionated and judgmental with me.
Yeah.
We're very happy with me nowadays. But yeah, so she wasn't aware of what I was like. I could hide it from her for a bit. For a bit, I did all right with hiding it, and then going out saying I'm doing drugs sometimes when we go out. This is further in our relationship. And then by the time I got married, she is well aware of what I'm like. In fact, I got back on my honeymoon and I went to rehab a week after.
Oh, wow.
So, I left after a week and I went to rehab for the first time when I was 25. I'd been married a month, been on holiday for a month, come back, went to Ascot, come home, started getting on it. And first time I'd ever done it, she got the ump. I went out and I didn't come back for 2 days.
Have you only been to rehab once?
No.
Done it multiple times?
No, twice. But the first time I went to the, I suppose I didn't want to go. I was there a week. They sort of said that someone gave me a book, Anger is a Drug, because my temper at that point was fucking off the Richter scale. I was angry. I was getting out cars. I was in problems all the time. I'd been arrested. It was lots of stuff going on. I got on a bus and kicked the door through because they blocked me at a T-junction. Craziness. And they gave me a book called Anger is a Drug. So I thought, I heard that, listened to that, and I went, my problem's not drugs.
You found like the root cause of
I
it
like anger.
almost, yeah.
So my anger's that. So I got hold of that and I left after a week and I went to therapy for anger.
Okay.
And I drove into London every week on a Friday, like 2 hours across London, and I'd leave at 5 and get there at 7 to do this therapy. And of course, anger wasn't my problem. It was always drugs and how I felt. And it didn't work. And when I was 30, I went back. And it was bad, between those two periods, my family, my wife is then aware. She's not like my mum. My wife will front me. Like, she won't have it.
Yeah, she's not soft at all, yeah.
She's having it. Like,
complete opposite.
She wants me out, or she's stopping me, or she's dragging me, or, you know what I mean? She will confront me. My wife is exactly what I need in life.
I was going to say, I was about to say, it sounds like she is what you need, yeah.
She's the best thing that's ever happened to me by a million miles, but she's my equal in every way. She's the person I love the most. I love spending time with her. I always have done. We've been together 20 years and that's never changed. So we'd always have a relationship, and we still have now. That if there's a problem, she hits me. She hits me. And yeah, so between those two periods, it wasn't like how it was. And just before I was 30, I was in and out of the rooms. I started going to AA when I was about 22, every so often, because I knew I was fucked.
Yeah.
And I knew I didn't want to be like it, but I couldn't hear it. I didn't want to hear the message. I didn't see it. And I just kept, I suppose you could say I was relapsing. I wasn't even in it. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I get it, yeah. 'Cause I think as well, the model of the fellowship, I don't think it necessarily often resonates with younger people.
It's hard.
The idea of accepting that you're powerless over, this substance or this addiction, I think that's quite hard to accept when you're very young.
I couldn't accept it.
No, I think when you're older, you might be a little bit more inclined and to be open to that. But as a young person, any young person I've met who's gone to the rooms of the fellowship, often say like they just can't get past the first step because they think this is a behavioural thing. Do you know 100%. What I mean? Yeah.
Have you had enough pain? Is the thing? And then I used to think, in my head, I was probably looking, I'm smart, I can run businesses, I can make money, I can sort this out. I couldn't. And I went into London one morning saying I was going to a meeting, AA meeting or CA meeting, and 11 o'clock in the morning I'm in the Witherspoons and I'm using, and I met these 3 Australians. They were backpacking, and I got on it. They'd obviously, like normal people, go home at 11 o'clock at night. I didn't know what to do. I ended up checking into an hotel in London, and I'd never done that before either at that point. And I was up all night, and in the morning I thought, what am I going to tell her? So I thought, right, go in the bathroom, there's an hairdryer, smash yourself in the head with the hairdryer, smash yourself up, and then ring her from the payphone and say, I've been arrested for fighting. That's believable in my head. So that's what I do. Right, so I stand in the mirror, I got the back of the hairdryer, and I smash myself in the face. Right. Smash my eye up. Leave the hotel. I'm in Holborn, use a payphone, so I've been arrested. At this point, she don't believe me. She was at this point would ring me in the daytime to see what my voice sounded like, to know. You can know if I'm using that. I'm like Ozzy Osbourne if I'm using it at this point when I'm 30. And I go home, she's not there, she's carrying on with her life like normal, she's at work, and I make an arrest sheet up on my computer, print it out, fold it up like it's been in my pocket, and I leave it in the kitchen. I then pick up and carry on. She rings me and says, "You need help. Oh, this is like ridiculous." And I say, "Yeah, I do." And I go, she goes, "Oh, I'm not taking you, but there's a place at the Priory." So I go to the Priory in Southgate. I check in, and I'm there for 30 days. And I'll give it everything I had, except I knew there was 3 grams of coke at the top of the kitchen cupboard, because I used to put things high, because my wife's about 5'1", I'm 6'3", so high on jacket pocket. So I left that there, and I never told her. But I still, looking back, I'll give it everything I had at that point, except for that. And I left after the 30 days, 28 days, and I went home and I touched it, and I felt at ease because it was there. I started using it within 2 days while doing daycare. Got away with that for a few days, and about the 5th day, I'm obviously ramping up, because that's fucking, why wouldn't I ramp up? I can't get to there. I'm going there. I get the cab to divert. I end up going to a place called Snaresbrook, where I sit in a park bench at 8 o'clock in the morning, sniffing, drinking vodka that I bought from the corner shop out of a brown bag, smoking a cigar and playing Sudoku. And I end up pretending to my wife. She obviously, by this point, they all know I'm fucking off on one.
Yeah.
They're not listening to the lie that I said the car's broke down and all of that. So I'm banned from driving at this point as well. And I end up managing to get into my back garden, where I hide for a day using, and she's like looking for me and all of that. And when she gets me, she drives me back to the Priory. They won't have me back. And it was a Friday. There was a CA meeting at the Priory on a Friday night. And Dave said no. Like, he ain't coming. I didn't want to go back in as a resident. They won't let me back as daycare. And I'm in the car park after, and I say, I'm going to wait for the meeting. She tries to run me over in the car park. She smashes because I'm banned, she smashes my Mercedes into a tree in the Priory. Because I think, looking back, you talk to your families with addiction, but if I went into rehab now, she would understand more. At the time, you go to rehab, you're spending all that money, you're fixed.
Yeah.
You're fixed. You've been away from home for 28 days. They've not seen you, hardly spoke to you, can only visit you once a week, if you're lucky. And that's meant to fix you. And I weren't fixed. So she didn't know how to cope with it.
I was going to say as well, for a family, they're probably thinking, I mean, the Priory as well, they're worried that must have caused them to think, well, if that doesn't fix it, what is going to fix it? I guess that takes me to kind of the next question. I think we often look at the turning point, whether that be the rock bottom moment, and that sounds like quite a rock bottom.
Sort of a bottom.
Tell me if beating yourself with a hairdryer isn't the rock bottom.
That's one of many. I mean,
tell me what the lowest moment you had.
I think there's a few.
Addiction was.
I think there's a few.
Talk me through them.
So I mean, there's loads. Every part from that point to the bitter end, I'd be in recovery and I'd relapse, and I was a binger. I'd be going 3-4 days. I'd end up in hotel rooms, and she'd find the hotel. My car would eventually beep. She'd track me down and drag me out of the hotel room. I was always by myself, and at this point, I'd drink litres and eat vodka, right, out of bottles, even in an hotel room, and I'll sniff drugs, right. So I'm stopped, and there was loads of them. I mean, I went to lunch. I started off in Manchester one night. She was in London. I'd been out with normal people. I went home, carried on, got the train to London. At an event she would really wanted to go to, carried on. She realised in the morning, she left me there, so I ruined it for her. I carried on. I got the train back to Manchester the next day. I carried on. I then drove to Brighton, because I was meant to be doing something for a charity. Stopped on the Sunday, started on the Wednesday. So I'm in Brighton now. And the only reason I'm stopping is I can't get anything. It's snowing. I don't do the charity thing, and I drive home and I'm sorry, there's one. And I looked at her that time, I thought, I can't do this to you ever again. I sat in my office toilet one afternoon because she'd been away that night, and then come back, and then I thought, where am I going to go? So I went to the office with vodka and coke, and I sat in the cubicle in my offices for 10 hours till everyone left the office. That's pretty fucking shit, isn't it? I'd been arrested. What
was you arrested for?
Drink driving. But actually, well, I used to drug drive a lot. All the time. Worst things I ever did. I drive my kids to school. A lot. Right, it's the worst thing I did. I believe that's the worst I did, but I did it to hide that I was doing it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It was fucking horrendous. I mean, I'm the complete opposite. I'm quite a morally strong person. My wife sometimes says to me, "You're quite just considering what I was like." But when I do other things, I'm the opposite. And everything I stand for is the opposite. I'm horrible. Everything I did makes me so that I regret more than anything because I could have killed my kids. And there's nothing worse than that, is there? Or somebody else. But I did, I didn't. But I still think about that, doing that.
The possibility of what could have happened.
I drove him to school. If she weren't there, I drove him to school, so she didn't know I was using.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy thinking. But it's something I didn't. A lot of people do it, and I don't mind talking about that.
Yeah.
The last time I used, I was about 3 days in, and I was at home by myself. And I've got a heart defibrillator in my dressing room, right? But at that point, I kept my drugs there as well. If I was using, drinking, I'd hide. But in the house by myself, I'm hiding drink behind my clothes and necking it and then sniffing. And as I'm walking in, I get like this what I think's an electric shock, right? And I managed to stay on my feet, and I'm like, fucking hell. And I think the defibrillator that's across the room is giving me an electric shock. So I carry on. But 2 hours later, I'm jumping out of bed because I just lay on the bed when I'm doing this. I'm not functioning.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump out, and I go in to do it again, and I have another one. It hits me again, and I end up on the floor. What I actually had was 2 fits.
Yeah.
That didn't stop me.
Okay.
I still went for another 2 days. But when I realised at the end, I thought, I'm going to fucking die. I always thought I'm going to die. But I'd had enough years before I stopped. Like, I'd had enough. I was doing it when they say you have powerless over it. I'm fucking completely powerless over it. I'm fucking miserable. I'm not enjoying anything. And actually, I'm committing suicide slowly and painfully. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I actually want to die. So when I'm drinking and using, I sit on that bed wherever I am, drinking it as much as I can. I mean, litres at a time. I'd do 3-4 litres of vodka in a day. I drank an litre in an hour once, trying to die. Yeah. I used to think I wish I'd fucking die because I can't stop.
This is it, because everything you're describing sounds fucking awful.
Horrendous.
None of it sounds like it. I guess you said it at the beginning. You said cocaine at first. It felt like it saved your life.
Yeah.
And then to see what it's taken away and what it's doing to you, it just sounds like there's no quality of life there.
There was none
at all.
It stripped me of everything. And in between, I mean, and every time I got stopped, and every time I got sober, I'd say sorry, and I meant it. She wouldn't believe me. But every time I said sorry to her, I meant it. Like, I just couldn't help it. It was fucking crazy. I couldn't be left alone. If I was by myself, I wouldn't be... She used to think I'd plan weeks in advance. I never did that. I used to be by myself overnight. It could be here. I got levered once about 100 yards from where we're standing. In Hull. In that hotel, in that sports bar that's above. Right? And I couldn't be by myself. So she'd have to do something or be away for work. She'd end up like trying not to be away. Because I couldn't not do it. And then she'd go within an hour. I'm using it. My favourite thing in the world is to sit at home drinking Diet Coke or water and watching the telly with her. Yeah. Right? As soon as she's not there, I can't do that. Yeah. Like, I couldn't relax. My brain, I just couldn't cope. And then I'd learned over all those years that my coping mechanism was cocaine. Yeah. That's what I taught myself. Yeah. I taught myself to self-soothe with drugs. It took me a long time to know that. And it took me a long time to undo it. But so she'd leave and I'd do it. And then I didn't know why I was doing it. And I couldn't stop. And I wanted to die. And it was never different. But at the same time, I can't stop. And it was horrendous. It was horrendous. I used to think I wish I'd die. I weren't brave enough to kill myself. This is the truth. Or I don't want to be known as Joe T who committed suicide. I don't know what. But I couldn't do it. And it didn't matter how much pain I had. If she left me, I could crack on. So that was fucking worse. So she was terrified of leaving me. And I used to think, fucking hell, like, I used to sit there going, what is going on? Why? There's no answer. For me, I still can't tell you why.
Yeah. I'm just trying to put myself literally in your body now. I imagine that was just like a fucking prison up here.
Yeah. Because I couldn't speak at that point. I think I've got that ADHD where if I use drugs, I'm quite talkative and hyperactive anyway. If I use drugs, I'm more...
Calm down a little bit.
I can't tell you down. Sports like that. Yeah. Eventually I'll go so far past that point where I'm like a zombie. But, you know what I mean? So I'm not bouncing off the walls if I'm using. I'm numb.
What's the moment then after everything that you're going through? Because there's the thing with addiction. You can't get you've got your kids,
Yeah.
you've got your wife. They often say you can't get clean for other people. You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
What was the moment then? Because you're sitting here in front of me now.
Yeah.
Looking really well.
Yeah,
Life
sober.
is completely different.
Completely different, yeah.
What was it then where the light bulb did just flick on?
I'd had enough. I actually truly believe I had enough. Like, I'd had enough of living how I was living, even when I was sober.
Yeah.
I'd had enough. It was like a switch went off in my head and it changed. I mean, it changed.
And nothing prompted it. It was just...
I'd gone that 5 days. I had them 2 fits, and it's nothing even to do with them. It's not my story. One of my kids had problems, and that child. I'm not going to say which one it was because it's not filming them. That child was in that house when I was on that 5-day binge. Because I did it to kids, and they're adults now. They're in their 20s. Was in the house, and they'd been trying to get away from this substance that they were doing, marijuana and gambling for a month. And he's then they're in the house with me for them 5 days, and I thought, that can't happen.
Yeah.
And it was literally, it was like something went bang. And it finally went bang, and the fucking penny dropped with me, and it just dropped. And I do feel like that. It wasn't hard. I never found not using normally hard. I didn't. I did in my 20s, but in my 30s I didn't. I'd relapse. I was in recovery sometimes. I was sober a year. I'd fall over 6 months, 3 months. It was always gaps. I'd always want to stop. But that day that happened, and that week after, I just thought no more.
What tools did you kind of like practice and put into place and to maintain the sobriety after that penny drop moment then?
Lots of different things. Because I'd been in the fellowship for 15 years, and the truth is I don't really practice the fellowship now. I've changed that. One of the problems I had, and I do not have a problem with the fellowship, I think it's fucking an unbelievable tool, is that we all use different, we all can't recover differently, and I always struggled with that. So I had to stop trying to, because I had that guiltiness of trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And I was using it wrong. I was using it to network. I was like, this woman was making me a cake. This woman, do you know what I mean? I was that person going to the same meet and like manipulating the room. So I had to change that. I'd had a good group of friends around me. Most of my friends are in recovery, right? So some are sober for 40 years. So I'd had that core group of people that actually wanted to be my friend and not because of who I was or what I had. So I had all the network around me I needed. I had a loving wife that didn't use. I had a home life that was settled if I wanted it to be. I was the one fucking destroying that. So all I had to do was just get up in the morning. I also needed to stop thinking about the future. This was a big one for me. I couldn't get sober a lot of the times. I'd go into rooms and say someone went, I'm 10 years sober. I'd think, you fucking liar. And I'd get resentful at people that were sober, like for longer than me.
That's really interesting, that.
I hated it. So I don't say now how long I've been sober. Now I've been sober quite a long time. But if anyone asks me, I'm sober today. And I was sober yesterday. And that's all I've got to do. And the minute I kept it honest, so anyone asks me, I'm in recovery. I'm a drug addict. And I keep it in today, I've been all right. Whenever I lied previously, it didn't work for me. So my wife, I think, took her a little while to get used to it because she's quite, she's been on a reality show. My wife's quite private. And she's very East London, like you don't talk about what happens indoors. That's my wife's mentality. So then when I'm a drug addict, she's like, nah, she's not a problem with it. Because I think we had a conversation once where you got a choice. Do you want this one or do you want that one?
Yeah.
And there's no choice. So I think honesty destroyed it, broke me for it, got me sober, and keeping it simple. I mean, I'd heard that for 20 years. I had a sponsor once, she's like, keep it simple, stupid, right, kiss. Or keep it simple, sweetheart, if someone wants to be nice, but I like the stupid thing. And once I did that, it was easy. It was easy.
Felt like you was overcomplicating it in your mind as well.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
We're complicated people with a simple problem.
Yeah.
Really.
I love that.
We are.
that's a really nice little soundbite, that.
If I just had to not pick up for this hour, and sometimes it was an hour, right? Yeah. And admit I couldn't stay by myself, which meant at 40 odd years old, I was sober before that, but at 30 odd years old, I had to ring my mum and say, Mum, can you drive up from London and sit with me because Nicole's away on Tuesday? That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And I don't need that now. I'm all right by myself now. Amazing that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I couldn't. And just by doing that, just keeping it literally simple. And if it was at the start, I was struggling and I had to sit in a bath used to take it my mind off it, or walking. If I had to sit in the bar for 2 hours, I would, and get through that period, and then I'd be all right. And then you get to bed, actually, I've done it. Like, I've fucking done it. And I still practice that today. Like, I got up this morning at 5. I drove here. I'm doing this. I've got a meeting after.
Yeah.
I'll drive home. I'll eat my dinner, hopefully, when I get in with my wife. I'll watch what everyone watches telly, and I've ticked a box. I'll talk to some people in recovery on the phone. I've done this, and it's good enough. And every day ain't perfect.
Yeah. From what I do know, you are obviously a successful businessman. Yeah. Is there... I suppose what I'm trying to get at is that addictive or that addiction in terms of the personality as well. Do you think that's crossed over and been an attribute in terms of your success as well?
I do think, yeah. But what I always say is I know a lot of people in sobriety. And do you know what I know about people in sobriety? They can achieve a fucking lot. Because no one works harder than the crack addict looking for crack.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? I swear to God, you'll never work harder when you're trying to get hold of a dealer.
Yeah,
and if you've got that mentality, let's put it that way, and you're sober, and you can channel it into lots of things, we can do anything we want to do. Because we've gone through things that mentally will destroyed us, and you have to rebuild. And I think you find a lot of success in those rooms and in sobriety, as much as you do pain. But yeah, you can focus. I don't know whether, because I managed to do things when I was, amazingly, I managed to do things when I was on it. But because I was probably not every day at that point and I was a binger, I was functioning.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think why not? Why hasn't it been in that way positive for me, my mental state of mind? You deal with people better because you're calmer in general.
Yeah.
You work hard. Like, I don't mind how long I work for. I don't know is the answer to that, but I think so.
I just think it's interesting to think of how successful you are, because the story that you've just told me there, and especially post 18, 19 years old after the football, just sounds like fucking how many years of just pain. But to be able to
in between,
do with the things that you've done in between is I'm thinking. Fucking hell,
well, I put that down to my wife. So you know what, my wife's successful, right? And my wife didn't have the upbringing I've had. My wife had an hard upbringing. She started a business at 18 years old. She was homeless, really, digging holes on the railway. Started a railway company, and now it's one of the largest in the UK. She's got 1,000 staff. She's done that with no help. I've had all the support in the fucking world, but like I've had 3 different businesses now. I had the sports agency, I sold that. Then I opened a group of gyms and I sold them. Now I own Mr. Whippy. I'm one of the owners of Mr. Whippy, and we've got bakeries and all sorts of stuff now. It's a big business. But those first 2 businesses probably wouldn't have functioned without her.
Yeah.
Because when I went missing, she filled in.
Yeah.
For me. And everything I've got is because of her. At the same time, people think I'm crazy for doing this, but I still do it. Every penny I earn, I give her.
Yeah.
So I have a credit card so I've got a credit card, I've got my express card that I use wherever I go. Yeah. But I won't keep more than 300 quid in cash in my bank.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm going to go on a bender. Because I think, why do I need that money?
Yeah.
I don't actually know what it is, whether it's a safety net even. But I think every day I get up and go work for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's so important to me.
Yeah.
So everything I earn, I give her. And it's like a balance, I suppose, a yin and a yang, because I trust her.
Yeah.
But I think she's the reason I'm successful. Yeah. If I'm honest with you.
To be fair, thinking about her, I don't know her, obviously I've never met her or anything, but she sounds incredible. To one, put up with everything that you've kind of put her through over the years.
Mad.
And then to sort your businesses out when you wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have done any better, could you?
No, that's the best thing that happened to me. I mean, without showing that, but I say to her, I don't know why you stayed. I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have stayed.
Yeah. Right? And even more so, talking about hair upbringing, if I was to...
That's probably why she stayed.
The stigma of addiction, if someone told me her childhood story next to your childhood story, and they said, which one becomes the addict?
That's her.
I'd have been looking at her.
100%, she's got none of it.
That's incredible, isn't it, really? Yeah, it challenges your entire perception of thinking of what people go through and where they end up, do you know?
My brother's not like it. Same upbringing, same trauma. Dad died, not like it. People react different ways to different things. And I know lots of people in recovery that have had her upbringing that are addicts.
course,
I do think she could be a bit of a one-off, to be fair, but she was meant to be. And I also think that, like, if everything, I will accept everything that's happened to me because I've met her. So I wouldn't change any of it because I wouldn't have met her.
Yeah.
And maybe we wouldn't have the relationship we've had without that. Because she's my best. Like, there's nothing she won't say to me.
Yeah. That's what you need, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, weirdly enough, I was at a party 3 weeks ago. A really close friend of ours, 60th. I was at her house. It was a house party in the Marquee, really nice. And actually, no one at that party is like there's no lunatics.
Yeah. But
I went to the toilet twice, right? And it's not happened. This ain't happened a lot. She come over to me. I was talking to someone that was drugged and having a good conversation. He owns a wine company, talking about his business. And she held my hand and she went, "Your hands are hot." And I knew instantly what she meant.
Okay.
Because you get hot, don't you, if you use drugs? Right? I used to get hot. So I looked at her. I went, "Do you think I've used drugs?" Yeah. And she said, "No." She did. Yeah. I knew she thought it. And she was like, "Why are your hands hot?" I was like, "I'm hot. I must be hot." Yeah. There's no answer. But I was in that atmosphere, I suppose. And, you know, she's not used to me being in those places anymore because I don't actually like parties or things and all that. But your relationship evolves and you have to accept that. I have to accept that from her because
after everything you've done, I think it'd be almost, I don't know, not unfair, but I guess, I suppose it'd be unfair to dismiss her or be mad at her for feeling that way after everything that you have done. I think she may always have that little bit of doubt.
Well, I always lied.
Yeah.
You always lie.
Exactly.
I mean, why would you tell the truth? If I had a cheese sandwich, I say I had an ham sandwich at that point. I mean, I lied. You lie. Because you're not going to tell people you're using...
That used to lie, it's just constant.
She don't get in that. She'll go, "Well, when I used to ask you if you were using, you'd say you weren't." I said, "Of course I fucking said that." Are you mad? Are you mad? I'm not going to admit that. Yeah. You're going to take my drugs off me. Fucking, I mean, well, she can find them. But do you know what I'm saying? So she always has that thing that I'll lie to her. The truth is, I probably ain't lied to her in years. Yeah. I can't even remember the last thing I told her that weren't true. But I think it's good as part of our relationship that she thinks that I'm a lying cunt all the time. Because I was.
Yeah.
Because I was. And I have to accept that. And I think that also gets you sober. You accept. Your acceptance around other people. Because actually you don't deserve to be treated any differently. It takes time. But the speed that my life and my relationship improved, because I always had a good relationship, but just had that look, is amazing. To have some sort of trust. I never had that. That I'm trusted to come here.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And not, why are you answering your phone?
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you all right? Do you know what I mean? Why you spent £100? Why have you got cash out? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where now, because I am where I say I am. I'm home generally when I'm at home. Cook dinner. Do things with the kids.
Was it hard to start telling the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was that one? It sounds like that would have been quite a big change for you.
I love lying. Yeah. I didn't even know I was lying. So I say that as well to her. I say, like,
I loved lying. I
loved it. But I didn't know I was doing it. I believed it. It's the same as when I said sorry and I meant it.
Yeah.
I weren't lying. I meant it, but the lies were true because actually I believed them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I believed them because, you know, why would I say I'm at my dealer's house or it doesn't matter where it was.
Exactly. Yeah,
why would I say I've seen this person because she knows that person, someone that you? I wouldn't. I would lie.
Yeah.
Because it's life. Because your life's easier to lie.
Yeah.
You don't want. I don't want confrontation. I don't want to face anything.
Yeah.
I want to avoid it.
Really, is the definition of burying your head in the sand, isn't it?
My precious. I want to use my drugs. It's like like being Gollum.
Yeah.
I want it. It's mine.
Mine.
It's fucking mine. Leave me alone. And it soothed me. It did soothe me as much as I wanted to fucking die. It took how I felt away. I was lonely by myself.
Is there anything that you have to do now to sort of maintain daily sobriety, or isn't it even really?
No, I do. I like a routine.
Yeah.
I still like a routine. So I tend to get up and I do go to the gym or play paddle every morning early. As soon as I wake up, I go in the gym. I try and eat well as best as I can. I try and be honest. I like to go to bed early. So I like going to bed at 9 and I wake up about 4 to 5 and I like those hours by myself. So I might go to the gym at that point. But I tell you what, why I like it, because it's a fucking blessing to wake up in the morning and not feel like death and actually want to get up. That's one of the biggest joys I've got out of recovery that I didn't know I had, waking up. I hated waking up. I hated anything I had to do. And now I wake up, I go downstairs, I talk to the dog, I have a coffee, I go in the gym, I'll do some emails, I'll do whatever I'm doing. Then the rest of the house gets up at 7, 8 o'clock, whatever they're doing, and go to work, and the chaos begins in the house. But that period is I would say, is the bit that keeps me sober.
Yeah. It's the little things. One of the stories, obviously working in substance misuse services for 10 years, one of my favourite stories was one of our lads come up to me and he went, Matt, I had the beds this morning. And I went, yeah. And I didn't understand what he meant. He went, no, I had the beds this morning. I was like, okay. And the penny still didn't drop in my head. And then I had to think, I was like, oh. And we just had a really good and positive conversation about the little things. Something, he went, I hadn't had the beds in the morning for like 15 years. Yeah. But it was just that really little thing.
I used to, funny you say that, I used to hate the noise because if you're drunk,
I've heard this story.
Not everyone says it.
Because
then you feel, in your head something clicks next morning, you're guilty.
Yeah.
Right? Nah, I can't tell you how much I love waking up early. Yeah. Well, if I wake up after 6 o'clock, I feel a bit guilty. I don't need an alarm, but my body now is like, even if I go to bed, it's not often, I'm in bed at 12, say midnight or 1. For whatever reason, something's happening, I'm out or whatever, I'll still wake up. My body still wakes up at 5.
It's just that natural body clock,
and I love it,
isn't it? Yeah.
I love it. I wouldn't give that up for anything. And I do think that's a major part of me, my long-term sobriety and that program. And then talk to people and get on with my life.
Yeah,
get on with my life and just think about what I've got to do today. And I'm doing it now without knowing I'm doing it. The fact that I've talked to you today will keep me sober today because I've had pain. I nearly cried. That remembrance is what you need. Like when I do go to meetings, and I do pop into meetings and I do talks at meetings or different sobriety events or whatever, and you find someone that's relapsed or new, I go, come here, tell me. Because we don't remember the pain all the time, and we need to. That newcomer, or that person that's in suffering, is actually better for me than someone that's been sober 10 years.
That's interesting.
Because I want to hear it.
Grounds you,
how do you feel?
Yeah.
Because you forget. I recovered from using quick, like within a week I'm back to normal, say, and I've forgotten how much, because I used to think when I was relapsing, if I could keep that pain of the day after you've relapsed, the mental pain, the physical pain, the whole thing, I would never use again, but you don't. But new people have got that pain. Give me it.
Give me it,
yeah. Give me time.
Yeah. I suppose that is one of the benefits. I've never really thought about the benefits of going to meetings for that reason. Better. But yeah, listening to other people, not just listening to the success stories of how people are maintaining sobriety, but listening to other people talking about their rock bottom moments and thinking, fuck that, I don't want to be there again.
You need both. You need to give back to them to prove that it can work, but you need their chaos.
Yeah.
Well, I do. Yeah. I certainly do. I mean, yes, completely off. Okay, there's someone that rings me that I've known for a long time. Every so often, normally when they're off their tits, wanting help. Right, I ain't helping you if you're off your tits while you ring me.
Yeah.
But yesterday, my phone rang and it was him. And I answered the phone. I went, "Are you ready? Right? You had enough?" And he went, "No, I'm actually looking for someone to play five-a-side football." But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But his name coming off my phone because someone that might ring me every 6 months or text me like my missus left me, and then just doing that made me feel better. Even though it weren't even. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah.
Because my brain goes, actually, I'm here for that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm here for I am a fucking recovering drug addict. I'm an addict. I don't pretend I'm anything else. I can be this businessman. I can have this money. I've got a nice house. I've got nice cars. I've got nice kids. I've got an indoor swimming pool. I've got a sauna. I had all that when I was a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Right? And I wanted to die. And I wanted to burn it down. And I hated my wife. And I hated my kids. And I hated my dog. Yeah. And even the dog won't come near me. My dog fucking loves me now. do you know what I mean? And nothing around you will change how this feels. I was in a prison.
Yeah.
I was in a mental prison, whether I was sober or not. I couldn't. I hated myself. Hated myself. I hated everything about me. I didn't like anything to do with me. I actually think I'm quite a good person. Like, don't know what other people think of me.
Yeah, but well, I've enjoyed speaking to you for the last hour. I suppose on the topic of that, then, I mean, we've got a variety of listeners that listen to this series. We've got people in recovery, people who are still using substances, and then we've got students and people that use this for professional development and learning practice. Is there a message you'd like to tell, I suppose, anybody about, I suppose, anything really?
I think the biggest thing for me, no matter what you're trying to do and what aspect, whether it's work or getting sober, is communicate. What I've always been good at, even this is on the work side, and what I was really bad at in the life side, is not worrying about communicating. So at work, I don't care who I ring. It can be the managing director of Marks or Spencer's, and I'll keep ringing them until they tell me to fuck off. But on the other side, I didn't communicate about my pain at all when I should have. So communicate, no matter what you want to do, if you communicate, you'll get somewhere and talk about your pain or talk about your work. It's the biggest thing that has helped me and stopped me in different parts of my life.
No, thank you, Joe. We like to finish this series with a series of random questions.
Okay.
Just to finish on a light-hearted note, and my first question is, what's your favourite word?
Fuck.
Least favourite word?
I don't know.
Something that excites you?
Family.
Something that doesn't excite you?
Drugs.
What sound or noise do you love?
My wife's voice.
What sound or noise do you hate?
My wife's size.
That big...
When
from
she
the
does
missus,
that, when
yeah.
she does that, I look, I think I want to kill you. She does it when she's in a bad mood.
What's your favourite curse word? Is it still fuck?
Probably fuck or cunt, but I don't want to say. I think when you're from London, you get away with the C word more than you do when you're. Yeah, fuck or cunt. Yeah.
What's your dream job? I suppose you've done a plenty, but if you could do
my
anything,
dream,
what
if
would
I
it
could have
be?
been any, I would have been a footballer.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. What's the worst job you can imagine doing?
I wouldn't want to be a sewage cleaner or something like that, I suppose. But any job's good if you're happy.
Yeah,
Everyone's different.
100%. And lastly, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You tried your best.
Thank you for joining me on Believing People, Joe.
Thank you, Matt.
And if you've enjoyed this episode of the Believing People podcast, we'd love for you to share it with others who might find it meaningful. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And leaving a review will help us reach more people and continue to challenge stigma around addiction and recovery. For additional resources, insights and updates, explore the links in this episode description, and to learn more about our mission and hear more incredible stories, you can visit us directly at believingpeoplepodcast.com.